Hi, my name is Bente, I'm the Norse Witch, and today's video is more of a light-hearted, chatty video because I was tagged in the My Magical YouTube Journey tag by Bex from The Witch's Cookery. So first of all, thank you so much for tagging me because I love doing tags. They are always very, very fun. And especially this one because this one is all about being a magical YouTube creator person or pagan YouTube creator. So this one will be very, very fun. Let's hop into it. Question number 1. What is your channel name and the significance behind it? So, my channel name is The Norse Witch, surprise. And it's pretty obvious, I would say, because when I started out my channel, I thought, well, what is my practice like? And what will probably my content be like, or the majority of my content be like? And I mean, I'm a witch and I'm a heathen, and my witchcraft practice is very much informed by my heathenry. So it's very, very inspired by Nordic traditions, several Nordic traditions, not just one, because I'm very inspired by heathen magical practices, but also folk magic. So anything Nordic, basically, it doesn't matter from which time. So that is why I called my channel The Norse Witch. Question number 2. What type of content do you create on your channel? For example, vlogs, educational, DIY live streams, and so on. I personally try my hardest to be very well-rounded, so you will find, of course, a lot of informational, educational content, like for example my series on the Norse gods, or my series on the runes, or also like some historical stuff, videos about different kinds of magical practices, a lot like that. But I also try to do more entertaining videos. So for example, vlogs, I think they're more entertaining, unboxings, things like that. So more lighthearted videos like this one. I also try to bring in people from other traditions and other magical practices and interview them, so that this channel is not just about my own practice, but about various different practices. I also have started live streaming recently, a few months ago. So I usually do a live stream once a month. That has been very, very fun. I try to, of course, talk a lot about my own practice because that's what people are usually interested in. Like, you can find information and educational content everywhere, but how to apply that information for your own practice, that's usually where people struggle a little bit more. So I'm pretty open about what I share. And I also really try to make content on more like tougher topics that maybe not a lot of people talk about online. So yeah, I try to be very open and honest and authentic, but also educational. Question number 3. What inspired you to start your channel? I have wanted to create a YouTube channel since I was 18, but I never really pulled through with it until Odin actually requested that from me. So he requested to kind of go out there and share my knowledge and my wisdom and help people out on their journey. So that is why I ended up creating this YouTube channel, and it was such a good decision. I'm very, very happy Odin requested that. Question number 4. How long have you been on YouTube as a content creator? Roughly 2.5 years. I started filming and stuff in January 2021. Yes, that should be correct, but I think my first YouTube video went live, I think, somewhere in February. Question number 5. What are your hobbies outside of your channel? I do a lot, probably too much. I am one of these people who jumps from hobby to hobby, but one thing I'm having a lot of fun with actually at the moment is pole dancing, and I don't plan on changing that, so I'm planning to stick with that. I've done it for half a year now, and I think I will definitely stick with it. I also read a lot, of course. I mean, that is practice related. Also, because I usually read anything that is witchy or pagan, also like history stuff, archaeological stuff about the Viking Age, for example, anything surrounding that I love. But also I sometimes also read fiction, but quite rarely. I also do various kinds of crafts. I kind of like my craft side is basically the side where I jump from hobby to hobby. Sometimes I do cross-stitching, sometimes I do normal embroidery, sometimes I start a random sewing project. I do a lot of like crafty stuff. Sometimes I start painting or drawing again. I sing. That is something that has stuck with me throughout all of my life. I will always sing. I don't take singing lessons, but maybe I will. I've always wanted to. And yeah, I don't know if you could count that as a hobby, but I have an online shop for witchcraft and pagan related goods, ethically and sustainably sourced always. So I guess you could count that as a hobby because it's not like my main job or anything. So I guess it's a hobby. Hi, Knudipoof! Question number 6. Is there a new style of content that you want to try? Honestly, not really, because I try to, as I said, be pretty well versed. I really like to try out new things. The only thing that I would want to change, and that's not something that I want to try as a new thing because I've done it already, but I would really like to make more aesthetically pleasing videos, because a lot of my videos are just sit down and talk videos and they're not usually pretty to look at. So most people use my content as like a podcast situation. And I would really love to make videos that have the same content basically, but are more aesthetically pleasing so that more people actually enjoy watching the videos and not just listening to them. Because I mean, it's YouTube. You know, the aesthetics and what you look at is important. But yeah, unfortunately, that takes a long time that I unfortunately don't have alongside a full-time job. Question number 7. How do you plan out your content? I have a very long list for content ideas. So I have this extremely long list where I put every single video, basically every single video idea that I can think of. So if I have a random idea in the shower, I will write it on that list after the shower so that I don't forget about it, because my memory is awful. So I always have to write down everything. And I usually have one specific day a week where I film and edit and stuff. So I have one dedicated 8-hour work day where I only do YouTube stuff. It's usually more than 8 hours, but you know how that is. But I can't spontaneously film, because if I have a random video idea in the morning, I have to go to my day job, so I can't spontaneously film those videos. So I have to write them down, and then on my dedicated YouTube work days, I will sit down, I will look at my list, and I will see what kind of video I feel like filming that day or writing a script, because most of the times I will batch script one day, and then the next week I will batch film, and then I will batch edit the third day or the third week in a row. So that's usually what I do. I don't really plan that much. I just write down ideas, and when it comes to scripting and filming and stuff, I just see what I'm most motivated to do. Question number 8. What are your tools of the trade? So cameras, mics, lighting, software, etc. My camera, I mainly use my Canon EOS R6. I splurged on that a little bit because I really needed a camera that can handle low light, because my apartment is a cave and I don't really feel like filming with soft boxes or like any additional lights, because I hate that. Especially if I vlog, I don't want to have to put up additional lighting situations everywhere in my apartment so that I can just film my day-to-day life, because that feels very inauthentic. So I really needed a camera that can handle low light, so I got my EOS R6, which I am so extremely happy with. The only thing that I don't really like is that it overheats pretty quickly. And yeah, I have multiple lenses for the camera. Of course, the kit lens, it's nothing special. I don't use it for filming that much. I usually use my 50mm lens, 50mm 1.8, and I have an 85mm also 1.8, I think, but I don't usually use it for filming, because it's an 85mm lens. I usually use it for just taking photos and stuff. When it comes to a mic, I use a Rode Go 2 for the like Bluetooth connection, and I have a basic lav mic on there, and I like that. That way I can run around my apartment and you can still hear me. I started out with a basic, I think, Rode, some kind of Rode video mic situation that you just mount on the camera, but I don't really like that because it catches too much surrounding sound and I can't move around with it very well because it's pointed. So I really like the lav mic situation. I have the most basic softboxes, the most basic lights of Amazon. I got them when I started out and I don't really use them that often anymore. So that's why I haven't upgraded them. I don't really see a reason to upgrade them. And I use DaVinci Resolve to edit my videos because I like it. It's for free. It's great. Question number 9. As a content creator, do you experience burnout? If so, what does that look like for you and how do you recover from it? I experience that all the time because I run this YouTube channel alongside a normal day job and an online shop. So I have a lot of shit to do. So that's why I try to just focus my work on one day a week, because otherwise I will run wild and just work 24/7. I still burn out sometimes though, because yeah, I try to do 2 videos a week and that's a lot. So it happens. That's why I try to always have at least 4 videos prepared, like 4 main videos. So usually I try to have like 7 to 8 videos prepared so that I could, if I really had to, I could take 4 weeks off. I have done that already and it was very much needed because yeah, when I get into or near a burnout situation, I get extremely unmotivated. I don't have any energy. I get extremely uncreative. So that means I don't feel like filming. I don't feel like editing. I don't feel like thinking about video topics. And even if I tried, I wouldn't be able to come up with interesting topics for videos or other kind of creative ideas for videos. And if I don't have ideas for videos, then I can't film and I can't make content because that doesn't make sense to just try to pull up a topic from my ass. I think you would see that. I think it would be very, very recognizable in my content if I wouldn't feel like filming it. So yeah, that's why I try to always batch film and prepare a lot of videos so that if I run into a burnout, then I could potentially take a couple of weeks off. And I would recommend that to anyone. Question number 10. Which video are you the most proud of and why? I guess it would have to be my updated spiritual morning and evening routine. I think that's what it calls. I will put it up here. There, I don't know. But I guess that one, because that's just, I think, the prettiest video that I've ever filmed, because it was not just a sit down and talk video, but it was a very aesthetically pleasing tiny vlog situation. It just felt great to film it and to edit it and stuff, because I completely I wrote down a list of things that I wanted to film, like in detail, like pick up my phone and film that from the side. And it felt very professional to make the video. And I think it's very fun to look at. And not just a sit down and chat video. And there's nothing wrong with just sit down and chat videos, but as I said, for me as a creator, it's kind of not very satisfying to make these kinds of videos because there isn't a lot happening, and like editing videos like this is pretty boring. So that's why I guess that video. Question number 11. Who inspires you within the magical or pagan YouTube community? I would split that down into 2 different things, because when it comes to aesthetics and like video production and stuff, I am very, very inspired by the Green Witch. I think that's the fact for a lot of people, but also the Witch of Wanderlust, of course, because like both of their content is just extremely aesthetically pleasing. Like the colors are always so nice and yeah, just they're pleasing the eye and I don't know, it just looks great. But when it comes to the content, like the information, the educational part, very much Ocean Keltoy, because if you have seen one of his videos, they are just so well researched. The resources are always everywhere to find. It's chef's kiss. I love that. So I would really love to have content that combines this very extremely well-researched content and the aesthetically pleasing side and put them together, but that takes a long time to do. So not possible, unfortunately, at the moment. Question number 12. Are there any channels you would recommend? There would be far too many channels for me to recommend because I actually watch a lot of YouTube. I've always watched a lot of YouTube. I love that. But I really want to focus on creators that aren't usually recommended, so I won't recommend like the usual big ones because you probably know them either way. So first of all, Rhiannon Harvest. I like her content in general, but she has started also a podcast, but also uploads the podcasts on her channel on YouTube. And I think the interviews she has done recently are just amazing. I've also been on her on her podcast and it was extremely fun. So I just think her interviews are always amazing and she has amazing people on. Definitely check her out. Then we have the Spökenkika, who, if you are into German folk magic, you probably know. He's in general just a very nice and fun person, and I love that. He's also Northern German, so yay! But in general, like, he has content on German folk magic, which for me, of course, who's pretty new to folk magic, that is very, very handy and convenient, and I just love very educational content. So if you want to get into German folk magic, then definitely check out his channel. Next up, I have a channel that is probably more interesting to heathens, and you probably know him, but he's not usually recommended in like witchy spaces. So Adit Haga, amazing info, just perfect. And apart from him, also the Welsh Viking, who doesn't necessarily do like pagan or witchy content, but if you are a heathen, then all of this archaeological information about the Viking Age is amazing. And I feel like we should not just have like heathenry-centric content, but also historical and archaeological content. So that is why I would also recommend him. Question number 13. Do you believe there are misconceptions about being a magical or pagan YouTuber? So friggin' many. And there are positive and negative ones. Like, there are of course the typical ones. Those people are only doing it for the money or for the clout. They only do it to probably get into some other kind of financial endeavor. So they only do it for the clout so that they can write books afterwards, like things like that. I think there's also a lot of misconceptions about monetizing your craft and sharing info in general about your private practice. There are a lot of people who think you shouldn't share anything, which I personally think is bullshit. But there are also like positive misconceptions. So with a content creator, of course, like with being a content creator, of course, comes parasocial relationships. So there are, of course, a lot of viewers who kind of put you on a pedestal and they think that you are in some way better, more experienced, or that you know more, or that you're more valid and that their practice has to look like yours. So that's, of course, also total bullshit. I'm also just a random person who has some kind of random magical practice, but I just happen to film it. There's nothing to it. I'm not better than you. I don't know more than you. I guess, like, there are so many misconceptions, I couldn't even talk about them all. This video would be hours long. Question number 14. What do you like and dislike about being on YouTube? I like a lot. I like building a community. Like my community on Discord is so amazing. I love everyone on there. I'm meeting so many amazing people, not only in my own community, but also other creators, which is just fun because you have two huge hobbies that you share. Not only your life as a witch or a pagan, but also the creative side about being a content creator. Those are two huge hobbies and you share them with that person. So you meet a lot of people that you have a lot in common with. I also really like just the challenge, because being a content creator is challenging. Like, you have to do a lot of work. You have to kind of figure out how to do a lot of stuff. You have to figure out how to film, how to edit, how to work with the YouTube algorithm. You have to do a lot of research, so your own practice grows a lot, at least mine has, because I personally, when I film a video, I do more research than I would probably do for my private practice. So that way, through YouTube, I also grow a lot myself. And I just love helping people in the community. Whenever I get a comment that says, "This video helped me so much," that makes me so incredibly happy, because that is what my whole channel is for. I didn't start the channel for money. I didn't start the channel for clout. Nothing like that. I started the channel to help people and to share my knowledge. Whenever I get a comment saying that I succeeded in that, I just get extremely happy. But of course, there's also a lot that I dislike about it, which most of it is mainly connected to me not having a lot of time for it, because I can't live off of it. I would love that, but that's just not happening at the moment. So that is why I don't really have a lot of time for it. I always have to squish a lot of content creating into a very tiny time slot in my week. I run into burnouts a lot because it's just a lot of work. I love doing the work, but it's still work. So it still kind of drains you, of course. And also sometimes you feel like you have to film everything that you do. Your life kind of becomes content, and I think that's something that a lot of people can relate to, especially if you do vlogs. You kind of feel like you have to do you have to create content from everything. So if you do something exciting, you feel like you have to film it and you have to share it with people. So your life kind of becomes your content, which can suck a lot because that means that your practice sometimes suffers from it. Also, of course, like hate comments and stuff, I hate that. And as a queer person in the heathen space that also tells people that heathenry is an open practice and anyone can practice it, I get a lot of hate. So that's of course a dislike. Question number 15. What are some of the challenges and struggles you face creating on this platform and how do you overcome them? Probably my biggest struggle is assholes in the heathen community hate commenting and telling me that no, heathenry is not open and you would have been exiled in the Viking Age as a queer person and things like that. Like, there are so many assholes in the heathen community that you probably don't recognize that much if you're not a content creator, but if you create content about these topics, they will come out of their holes in the ground and they will start harassing you. So I had to deactivate a lot of comments on some of my shorts and some of my videos because people were just hate commenting all over the place. I think my video about racism and gatekeeping in the heathenry community has like over 100 dislikes. So even if people can't comment anymore, they will make themselves known, and that is very, very scary to see how many assholes are in that community. The witchy community hasn't really given me a hard time. Like, the witchy community on YouTube is pretty chill, so that's great, thank you. Question number 16. What is your opinion on monetization, paywalls, or other exclusive content, for example, Patreon or other membership services? I feel like that is so valid because we are making content for free. We are putting so much work into our videos, and trust me, making videos takes a long time, and we are putting all of that content, that education, all of the information, all of our wisdom and our experiences, and even if it's just entertainment, we are putting all of that work in for you to enjoy for free. And trust me, YouTube doesn't pay a lot. Like, YouTube monetization is a serious joke. Nobody, I think, apart from maybe people who have like millions and millions of viewers, but normal people can't live off of just YouTube monetization. And if you want that content that is like aesthetically pleasing and educational and it combines everything, if you want top-notch content, a person cannot do that alongside a normal day job. That's just time-wise, it's not possible. Nobody has enough time for that. Someone has to pay for it because we can't make that for free because, well, we have to live off of something. So of course we have to kind of monetize it in some kind of way. And I mean, nobody forces you to subscribe to someone's Patreon. And even if you did, it's usually like $3 or $5 a month, and that is not a lot. I don't get it where this idea comes from that everything that has something to do with spirituality has to be free. If you put out content on marketing, nobody would expect you to do that for free. So why is that the case in the spiritual community? I don't get it. It just doesn't make any sense. If you want proper content, someone has to pay for it. And YouTube doesn't do it properly. We are just extremely, extremely thankful for anyone who like subscribes to our YouTube membership thing or to Patreon or whatever. Yeah, as I said, I don't really get it where that idea comes from that we should create every type of content and give away all of our knowledge for free, because that's just ridiculous. Question number 17. Do you have any boundaries on this platform? Why or why not? I feel like I don't have a lot of boundaries. Like, I share a lot of my own practice online. I share so much private information about my practice. I feel like that's important so that people can kind of relate to you and learn from your mistakes. So I feel like I have very little boundaries. I don't know. Question number 18. Do you have any current goals for your channel? I definitely plan on making more videos on heathenry topics. So, I don't know, different types of spirits or celebrations, holidays, things like that. I know you love them and I want to make more vlogs. It's just sometimes very overwhelming to make vlogs, but I still want to make more vlogs. I also really want to deliver more interesting interviews with practitioners from other traditions or spiritual paths, so that you get also knowledge and info on other types of practices that aren't mine. And apart from like content, I would really like to hit 50K, but that will take ages. That will take ages. Question number 19. What are some of the mistakes you've made and how did you fix them? I can't really remember any real mistakes that I've made. Like, I haven't been cancelled or anything, so I don't know. Have I made any mistakes? I don't know, tell me in the comments. I hope I didn't. Question number 20. What are some of the ways your channel has grown since your first video? My growth has been very slow but steady. Like, I have not had this one breakthrough video that content creators usually talk about. Like, everyone usually talks about, well, I've had like slow but steady growth and then I had one breakthrough video and since then I have grown immensely. I haven't had one of these videos yet, so my growth has been very slow but steady. I mean, it has taken me 2.5 years to get to 23K. That's a long, long time. I don't know if that breakthrough video will come at some point. I doubt it. The YouTube algorithm doesn't really seem to favor me. So my growth comes usually mostly from search and not from like YouTube putting my content really out there on the homepage or anything like that. So slow but steady. Question number 21. Have you ever wanted to quit making videos? Why or why not? I haven't really felt like quitting. I have only felt like taking a break, and I have done that, which luckily you didn't feel because I had batch filmed previously. So there were already times where I took like 4 weeks off to just take a break and recover and get like my creative juices back and get them flowing again. But yeah, I have never really felt like quitting. The only thing I quit was TikTok, and that was the best decision ever because TikTok is fucking toxic. Question 22. What do you wish you knew before starting your YouTube channel journey? It is so much work. It will drain you. At times, it will be very challenging. There will be assholes who will tell you that you are invalid in your practice. You will encounter a lot of assholes in general, but it will also be so incredibly validating and satisfying and fulfilling. You will meet so many amazing people. I guess that's that. Oh, also that my practice will grow immensely from it. So I guess all of that. Question 23. Do you post on any other platforms? If so, what are they? Currently only really Instagram, and that's more like a private platform. So I don't know, I just post about my private life there. I don't really post a lot information or educational stuff on there. Sometimes, like from time to time, or I will share like which books I'm reading or things like that, but it's, for the most part, it's just my private Instagram. Question 24. Do you have any advice for those wishing to create a channel? Yes, first of all, just do it. I know it's very, very scary, but especially if you upload your first video, nothing will happen. Like, there will be maybe 4 people who will see it. So don't feel like you are posting a video and everyone will start hate commenting. The community isn't that bad, trust me. Just do it. Like, if you have wanted to start a channel, just do it. But also research the topics that you post about extensively, because trust me, you do not want to look back on old videos and feel like you have given people misinformation, because that really sucks. I mean, it will happen in general that you look back on old videos and you're like, ew, what was that? Because you will be extremely awkward for the first couple of videos, but you don't want to give out misinformation, because then you have to take down old videos, and that really sucks. So just try to do proper research before filming a more educational video. Try to find a very descriptive channel name. So if you post about witchcraft, maybe put like witchcraft or witch or anything that has to do with your practice in the channel name, so that people know what your content is about. I would also advise everyone to do proper research on how the algorithm works, like how to make a proper thumbnail, how to make a proper title, all of that kind of stuff. And lastly, maybe batch film and just prepare like a couple of videos before you start posting them. As I said, that way you can just take a break without missing a day of posting, because that will kill you like in the algorithm. The algorithm hates it if you just not post a week. And then lastly, who will you tag in this video? I guess that the bigger creators will probably be tagged by someone either way. So that is why I have decided to tag smaller creators, so that everyone gets a fair chance to do this tag. First of all, Luna Seranova, I tag you. Also, I tag the Order of Chaos. I don't know if he will do that kind of content, but I think that would be extremely fun. So, the Order of Chaos, I tag you. I also tag Rhiannon Harvest. I know you want to make this video, so I tag you too. And lastly, Samantha Solaris, I tag you too. And I'm very excited about seeing your videos on this topic. That being said, that was the tag. I think it was extremely fun. Again, Bex, thank you so much for tagging me. It was extremely fun. Patron shout out, of course, as always. Thank you so much to Adam, Segregated Facial Hair, Kent, Kelly, Lisa, Brittany, Ember Celine, Smolketa, Josh, Virginie, Eleonora, David, Christine, Rixie Business, Valo, Annalena, Bast, Kirby, Ashley, Erika, Elentia, Anna, Kristen, John, Phoenix, Anton, Jenny, Maggie, Misty, Amy, Colette, Timothy, Coffee or the Honorary Gossip Squirrel, and Bjorn. Thank you so much for supporting me. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe and give a thumbs up and ring the bell down below. Of course, you can check out my other socials, and even though my shop is closed for 4 weeks currently because I'm taking a break, you can still check out my shop for ethically and sustainably witchy and pagan goods. And if you want to support me, then you can check out my Patreon. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!